A leader who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. And at IPER, we have a passionate leader who is not only a seasoned administrator, but a person with vision and will to pursue the vision as well. We have with us Dr. Amarjeet Singh Khalsa, Group Director, IPER Group of Institutions, here today. And may I please request her to deliver the conference theme address.
Honorable our Chairman, Mr. K.J. Ravtani, respected Dr. Subir Verma, respected Saurabh Sangla ji, our own dear Mr. Aniruddha Chauhan, all the directors, faculty, colleagues who have joined virtually in this conference today. I welcome you all once again and see how technology helps you. I was sitting on the dais and I was asked to speak while sitting there. For a teacher, it's always difficult to speak when he is sitting. So for a teacher, the most lovable place to talk is the podium. And the technology has given me that opportunity again to come on the podium in this COVID-19 situation. Now, let me first of all give our regards on behalf of everyone to Dr. Subir Verma. I would like to share one of, not the good news that his mother got a heart attack yesterday. And at the moment he is in Patna. And in this situation when his mother is on ventilator, he has written a speech to address all of you. I think that's the spirit of COVID-19 in which the professionals of our country never stops. So let me give our regards to him once again. Back to business. This is the 5th National Conference of IPER. If we go back and see what we have done in last 4 conferences, we initiated our discussion on what to teach in management, how to teach in management. Second conference deliberated on the research part, what kind of research we should have in management teaching. The third conference deliberated about deglobalization, which was initiated at that time when nobody was agreeing to that this will happen, but now we have seen that has started happening and the data suggests that. Last year we had a deliberation on how credit supply is going to impact the Indian economy. And you see in last 1 year, whatever comes from the government side, the focus primarily on supplying credit to the consumers, to the industry, and to all the people who need it. What I am trying to pinpoint is that what we deliberate here in IPER and national conferences, and fortunately, every time with CII, we always speak about these deliberations to CII first, that this is what we are thinking. And CII always appreciates the thought and come together with us. And you see, whatever we deliberate, we have deliberated in last 4 to 5 years, actually it is happening and everybody is getting benefit out of that. This year, the theme which we thought is more apt and logical to deliberate is COVID-19. When everybody is speaking and talking that COVID-19 is a curse, COVID-19 has badly affected everyone in the economy. We at IPER see COVID-19 is a showcase of potential of Indian economy. We cannot fill up the losses which we had personally in this COVID times. No comparison to that. But economy has to run. And in that perspective, I say, we believe that COVID-19 has showcased the potential in Indian economy. And we all have seen that. I will give few of the logics to support what we are speaking here. Minus 24% was the GDP growth which we witnessed in first quarter when this outbreak happened. Today we are at the positive growth of GDP. This is the first barometer where we see the potential of our economy. But it's very simple. When I say this, that the negative GDP growth has converted into positive GDP growth, that is very simple to understand, and most of the people in the industry won't believe on this, that this is the sign of the resilience in the Indian economy. No, it's not like that. And I also of the same opinion that we have to dig some more data to find out whether this is the potential or this is just a approach which we have seen in last few months. So we have digged out few more data points, and on this data point I would use this forum today to give a new theory of thinking on Indian economy. In a few seconds I'll come to that particular theory. What has happened in last few months is that the demand has not changed in the Indian economy, it has only shifted to time frames. When I use the term shifted to time frames, that means when you are in the lockdown situation, the demand goes down, but when you open up, the demand again comes back, not for that particular period, but also the piled up demand which we saw in last few months of lockdown. So the pattern of demand has not changed, only the timing has changed. And that's the reason we see that the GDP growth is on track as per the expectation of V-shaped recovery, which we also propagated on May 23rd, 2020, when we used this forum itself at IPER and propagated that we will see a V-shaped recovery, and we saw that V-shaped recovery in last 8 to 10 months. So GDP growth and the demand cycle shows that pattern of resilience in Indian economy, and that's the potential. And now I'll come to the point from where this potential comes. This potential does not come from the government side. This potential does not come from the industry side. This potential comes from the common citizen of this country. Believe me, this COVID-19 has proved one point, that the economy of this country, the onus of running this economy is on we citizens of this country. The government, the policy makers, the bureaucrats, the industry only facilitates that. And everyone, whether it is the government, the policy maker, the industry, everyone has understood that, and they are just working to facilitate the way the common citizen is behaving in this country. So the power of our economy lies in we common citizens of this country, and we have given boost to the Indian economy. Why I say so? In these difficult times also, we have not been afraid of spending. We are spending on continuous basis, and spending by the citizens of any country is the basis of any economy's working. Now, to support that spending, the government is helping us, the bureaucrats are helping us, the industry is helping us, the society per se is helping us, that's a separate issue. But they all are working in the way we are behaving. So that's why I say that it's the potential, showcase of potential in Indian economy. COVID-19 is not bad for Indian economy at the moment what we see in the data point. It's only the timing has changed, the pattern has not changed. At last, coming to the point which I was deliberating in the beginning, that I would like to use this forum, because it's a national conference, we have the responsibility to give birth to a new thought. And that new thought, with the permission of CII, with the permission of our honorable chief guest, guest of honor, and our chairman, I would like to use this forum to propagate that theory. What I say now, it's not the GDP growth which is important. Stop looking at GDP growth. Start looking at GST growth. And believe me, we foresee that in coming times, the data of GDP will not be that important as important the data of GST will be. I'll explain how. If you see the collections of GST, it has gone back to the previous normal times collection. We are getting almost 1 lakh crore rupees per month GST collection every month, apart from the lockdown period. So it's a simple economics. If GST collections are going up, that means the production, the services are improving. They are on the normal side. And when the production, the services are on the normal side, the result of its positive impact on GDP will come eventually. GDP data is presented in quarterly basis. GST is collected on monthly basis and reported on monthly basis. So that's the earlier data and the earlier sign which we get that Indian economy potential is robust. Let me come to the second data point which will supplement my point of GST collection and how it is impacting the economy. We all are aware that when the last year this pandemic broke out and this year also when the union budget was presented, the fiscal deficit data which was projected by the government of India was almost 10+% of GDP. The total expenditure, budgeted expenditure for the financial year 21-22 is 34 lakh crores of Indian government. And at the moment, the GDP percentage of fiscal deficit is almost 10%, which is almost 18 lakh crore rupees of fiscal deficit we are facing at the moment. This 18 lakh crore rupees of fiscal deficit means what? That the government is planning to expend 34 lakh crores of rupees and government does not have that. Government has approximately 12 to 13 lakh crore rupees because the projected was 22 lakh crore rupees, but because of the second wave of pandemic and the lockdown which we have faced in the country, the collections have gone down and the fiscal deficit has widened. That is exactly what we have seen. But the silver lining, the point where we see that it's the robust potential in Indian economy is that the government expected a fiscal deficit of 10.4% in this particular period, but the good news is that yesterday evening, always it happens, whenever we have a national conference on a particular topic, something comes in the day before which supplements our thought. And yesterday evening, it's the government data which has been published that the fiscal deficit is not the projected 10%, it is only the 7.5% of the GDP. That means the fiscal deficit is going down. Now when fiscal deficit is going down, what does it mean? That the collections of the government is increasing in the form of GST. And why the GST collection has improved? Because we have expended, we have bought, and the industry has been supplied the credit which was our last year's topic. That it is a credit which will push the economy, and it happened. So our new theory here is that don't focus on GDP, focus on two data points now for coming 3 years. One, the GST, and second is the movement of fiscal deficit corresponding to that particular GST collection. And that shows that Indian economy has a resilience potential, and COVID-19 has reminded us that we should not be at the back seat in the Indian economy, rather we should be on the front seat in the Indian economy. So today we got the opportunity that you all dignitaries are here, offline and online, who have given their research papers supplementing, supporting this topic. And I am fortunate that we have one person in this today's gathering, Mr. Saurabh Sangla ji, who knows the industry ins and outs, who knows what is happening on the ground. He will supplement our thought process. We are thankful for his gracious presence here. And Dr. Subir Verma, I have learned one thing more from you, that the show must go on. This is the way we should behave as far as our professional ethics are concerned. We all pray for the speedy recovery of your mother. Thank you once again. Your presence here always motivates us. Special thanks to Mr. Aniruddha Chauhan, Director CII, who is a silent motivator, who we have seen how they have worked in managing the COVID and pandemic situation during difficult times for the industry. I have noticed that day and night they have worked for facilitating the smooth working of the industry, whether supporting to the government in the present vaccination drive, whether supporting the government, state government in managing the operations of the industry. Mr. Aniruddha Chauhan, we appreciate your effort in this particular direction. At last, my gracious thanks to all the directors of the different colleges and management institutions who are present virtually also in this particular conference. I hope you will all enjoy the learning sessions for today. Thanks a lot.